Why are so many women in their 40s divorced or thinking about
Hello
divorce?
friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we'll be talking about why are women in their 40s leaving their marriages. So I've put the videos together so that you watch and learn. I'll be back to share my truth.
Why are so many women in their 40s divorced or thinking about divorce? Imagine this. She's been running the household, managing the kids' schedules, excelling at her career, and still picking up her husband's slack. And now she's wondering, what's the point of this partnership if I'm doing it all by myself? Here's what happens. High achieving women hit a breaking point. They're exhausted. They've tried motivating their husbands. Can you please help me with the kids? Or can you take on more at home? But nothing changes. And resentment? Oh, it grows like wildfire. She starts thinking, I'm already the breadwinner. I'm already handling everything. What am I getting out of this marriage? And that realization is like a tidal wave crashing into everything she thought she wanted. It's not impossible to save the marriage. It's just incredibly difficult when one partner refuses to grow. And the longer she waits, the more she feels like she's losing herself. So if you're feeling this way, ask yourself, are you sacrificing yourself to keep the peace, or are you ready to reclaim your life? Because staying isn't the default answer. Choosing you, that's where the power lies.
The reason couples get divorced in their 40s is not because of lack of communication or sharing of the responsibilities or financial situations or whatever. Okay? The real reason that nobody talks about is that women start going through hormonal changes like perimenopause and menopause and are just angry and irritated at their man for no reason. We've all seen the memes. And from a guy's perspective, it's difficult to understand because our testosterone is going down. And so as a result, we're becoming more level headed and calm, and you're becoming more psychotic. And so our response is to detach emotionally. And women, of course, are masters at emotions. And so they can pick up on this right away. And as a result, we pull apart from each other emotionally, and that is what destroys marriage and relationships and destroys society.
Here's why I divorced my first husband. We met when I was 19 years old, and I didn't know this at the time, but I was currently suffering with PTSD from witnessing my mother have an asthma attack and die in her bedroom a few years before that. And I was also currently dating a sociopath who was extremely abusive. So I was broken. I was lost. I had no self-esteem. I was depressed. I was taking Prozac at the time. So here I am, 19. I meet him. We were working together. We worked together at Blockbuster. And he just thought I was the greatest thing in the world. I was a fucking mess. But he thought I was fantastic. We ended up dating on and off for years. And I broke up with him 4 times before we got married. Brutally honest with him about my feelings. I talked about how I felt like it was more of a platonic relationship. He still married me. And immediately we began fighting about everything. We see the world from completely different perspectives. So when you're on a team with someone and those people have completely different goals, your team sucks. We sucked at communicating. We really lost a lot of respect for each other. And there was still that, for me, that missing piece, that chemistry after years of unhappiness and accepting the fact that things were not going to change. Things weren't going to get better because you can't change a person. He is who he is. I am who I am, and it doesn't work. So I left. My daughter was about 1.5 years at the time. I share this story because everybody's journey, divorce journey, marriage journey is very different. But maybe there are pieces of my story that resonate with you or that validate some things that you've been feeling or thinking. Or maybe my bad choices just...
I was married for 24 years. I got married 2 weeks before I turned 20. We had 3 children together. And when I got a divorce 24 years later, It took a lot to get me there. It took a lot of pain to get me to the point of willing to divorce. I endured, I suffered, I begged, I pleaded, I tried. I read all the books. I went to therapy. And I still stayed 10 years longer than I should have. And when I finally pulled the trigger and I finally ended that marriage, you know why I did it? Not because of me, not because I knew that I deserved better, not because I knew that I was dying in that marriage, my health was suffering, I had autoimmune issues, I had depression, I was overweight, not because of any of those reasons or because I just wanted to be happy, because my kids were being affected. That's why I left. When I saw that my kids were being traumatized by the behavior, that's when I found the courage to leave. And you know what? I had a conversation with my daughter the other day and she said, Mom, what? I'm mad that you didn't leave sooner. I'm mad that you didn't do it sooner. And she's right. She's right. I should have, and I didn't. The pain of staying had to get so bad. The fear of change was no longer as big as the pain, right? The pain of staying got bigger than the fear of the change. And that's when generally the human condition is, that's when we leave. We need a crisis. And unfortunately, that's what happened to me. And women are much more likely to endure the suffering for themselves. But as soon as the kids are involved, we get all mama bear and we'll do it. But I don't want that for you, because what I learned from that was very valuable. What I learned was it's not noble to suffer for the rest of your life because you're scared of making a different choice. It's not righteous to stay in an abusive, toxic, dysfunctional relationship. And staying for the sake of the kids when it's like that, you're lying to yourself. It's bullshit. I was lying to myself that I could hide it from the kids, that I could protect them, I could be the buffer. No, you can't, and they are being damaged, and I have to now I have to take responsibility for the impact I had by staying too long, the impact I had on my kids by staying too long, and I'm taking responsibility for that, and I'm learning. You can relate to this. What I want you to hear from my story is this. You know, in your intuition, your gut, you know you need to leave. And you're staying because you're scared. You're staying because you're scared of disrupting the family, of the conflict, of looking like the bad guy, of guilt, of finances, of whatever. But that fear is keeping you in denial, and it's making you tell yourself that it's all okay, that you can do it, you're strong. You need to tell yourself the truth and wake up to the reality of what's really going on and how it's really affecting your kids and what needs to happen. And then you need to get the support that you need in order to make that decision. When I started working with a coach, it gave me the support and the courage to actually leave my marriage. You need to stop being in denial and stop telling yourself that you can do it, you're strong, it's going to be fine, you're staying together for the kids. No, if your gut is telling you you got to go, you got to go. And that means you got to figure out how to go. And that means you probably need support. Don't stay 10 years too long like I did. Don't do it. Because if I could go back and do that over, I would have been out of there way sooner. And I would have had way more time to build my new life. And my kids wouldn't have had to go through more trauma. So this is my message to you, because I wish I had had somebody say that to me back when I was, 35 years old, stuck in a shitty marriage, being cheated on, being abused. I wish I had had somebody say this to me. Wake up to what's really going on, tell yourself the truth about what's really happening, and then decide that you are going to start getting support now before you get to a crisis point. that you're going to start working on yourself now, to build yourself up now so that you can make that challenging decision. Because honestly, that choice to leave takes about 10 seconds of insane courage. That's it. Everything else is worrying about the decision. What's going to happen? What's going to happen after? But saying it out loud, I want a divorce and I'm going to figure it out and I'm out of here, 10 seconds of insane courage. Everything else will be figure outable. Everything else will figure itself out. But delaying that conversation is just keeping you in stress. It's keeping you suffering. You don't need to do that. So tell yourself the truth, get real with what's going on, and get support. And if you want that support, I am here for you. You know how to find me. You can go to the link in my bio. You can see all the ways you can work with me and get support. I have free support. I have all sorts of levels of support. There is no reason why you can't have support. Take responsibility for yourself. Take responsibility for your life. Take responsibility for your happiness. Get the support. There is no reason why you can't have support here. And trust that as you do that and you work on yourself and you work on focusing on you, figuring your shit out, figuring out how to make that challenging decision that you know you need to do that you've been putting off, let's go. Because life is short. You only get one life. And I want you to live the life that you're meant to live. And I want you to find out how capable you truly are, how powerful you truly are. And I am here to help you do that because I know that's the truth about you.
That's a video, guys. So I'm just here also to share my true sense, like what I think about today's video, why women are leaving their marriages. So, ladies, she had the house, the husband, the stability, everything she was told would make her happy. So, why, after decades of building a life together, is she suddenly packing her bags and leaving? This is a question many people are asking, as more and more women in their 40s are choosing to walk away from their marriages. And it's not just happening in silence, it's a movement. These women are not just leaving, they are reclaiming something they feel they have lost. But what's driving this shift? Have marriages changed, or have women simply stopped settling? For many years, marriage has been presented as the ultimate goal for women, a lifelong commitment, a place of security, and for many years, an identity. But something happens when a woman reaches her 40s. The kids might be older or out of the house, the constant chores of family life start to slow down, and for the first time in a long time, she had a moment to breathe, and in that silence, a question clips: is this really the life I want? Some realize they have spent years catering to everyone else, being the wife, the mother, and the caretaker, while slowly losing touch with the woman they once were. One of the biggest reasons women live in their 40s is emotional neglect. Many of them are not running from explosive fights or dramatic betrayals, they're living because they feel invisible. They have spent years pouring love, effort, and attention into the relationship only to feel like their presence has become background noise. It's not that they wake up one day and decide to leave, is that they wake up one day and realize they had been lonely for so many years. There is also the awakening that comes with age. A woman in her 40s is no longer the same person she was in 20s. When she first got married, she's grown, involved, and often she starts to see the cracks in the relationship that she ignored before. The little things that once seemed tolerable, being dismissed, not feeling heard, a lack of intimacy, back impossible and to ignore, she starts to wonder, do I want to spend the next 20 years feeling like this way? So financial independence has also changed the game. In the past, women stayed in unhappy marriages because they didn't have the financial means to live. But today, more women are making their own money, building their own careers, and realizing they don't have to stay in a situation that no longer serves them. The fear of struggling financially used to be a chain that kept women locked in a place, but now many are willing to bet on themselves. And then there is a question of happiness. Society has taught women to endure, to compromise, and to put family before their own needs. But now more women are choosing to prioritize their happiness even if it means staring or starting over. They realize that living is not a failure, it's an act of self respect. Not every woman leaves her marriage in her 40s does so because she's unhappy. Some leave because they have simply outgrown the relationship. Some leave because they want more passion, more adventure, or just a fresh start. Whenever the reason, the message is clear. Women are no longer willing to sacrifice their happiness for the sake of staying in a marriage that no longer feels. And maybe, just maybe, that's not a tragedy, it's a revolution. So we have to put in mind, like, why are these women in their 40s? Because when you're in your 20s, you don't think straight, like you just do everything in a hurry. But when you reach your 30s and your 40s, you're going to realize that you need someone to talk to. The truth of marriage is that sometimes marriage is stressing because marriage needs commitment. Marriage needs someone who loves you back for you to commit. Okay? So when you want to get married, please ask yourself, are you ready for this? Because this is a lifetime thing. So this is why many women, they divorce their husband because they say that most of the stories, they say that uh, their husbands, they don't really take care of them. They are draining them financially, emotionally, and spiritually. Okay, so it's good. My advice for today is that it's good for a woman to have your own money in your bank account in case anything happens. You know, a lot of things happens, so you need to have some money saving somewhere. You know, this is mine. No one else name is there. Okay, that's the thing. That's a good part. Let them check you. Let them see what's going. Okay, so let me just also share the other thing is that women, when you're choosing a partner, please note down the qualities of a man you're looking for. It's very important and it helps with the person who's choosing. Okay. So you have to take care good self of yourself. Write down the type of a man you're looking for, and everything is gonna be okay. And you guys, launching an online dating app. If you want to download this on Play Store, it's called Florence Online Dating Tips or Online Dating Tips. And I'm going to put for you how it looks like. Okay, I'm so excited. Like, I just want to see it, which is very, very important for me. All right, I'm so excited, guys. So please take care of yourself, which is very important too. So I'll see you in my next episode, guys. I don't know what you think about today's video. Please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to see you in my next episode. Bye bye for now.